It's clear that they don't want to deal with this issue.
And their issue is making sure abortions don't happen here in the Hub City. Good evening, I'm Lauren Motter.
I'm Brian Mudd. When Planned Parenthood announced it was heading back to Lubbock by the end of this year, thousands of residents decided to push back on that return, and a proposed ordinance was put forward that would ban abortions from happening in the city limits.
Yeah, City Council had been pretty quiet about that proposal until today, and KAMC Matthew Stell has these latest developments for us.
Yeah, Lauren and Brian, it has been a hot button political issue for decades. The city sought out help this time around, and it seems based upon the information they were given, don't expect much action from them.
It's not something we would want to do in every city, but if that's what it takes, that's what it takes, and that's what we'll do.
Well, according to lawyers for the city of Lubbock, that won't be happening anytime soon. Olson & Olson, the Houston-based law firm hired by City Council, says the sanctuary city for the unborn ordinance has some major legal issues. First off, attorneys argue if the ordinance was passed, it would automatically be null and void because the Texas Constitution prohibits the city from adopting an ordinance that is inconsistent with Texas state law. Secondly, they say the sanctuary city ordinance, quote, creates offenses for some actions that are in fact permitted by the state. State Senator Charles Perry, who's led the sanctuary city movement, says that's not true.
Texas statute still has on the books, it's in a separate category for laws that are kind of hanging out there in the balance, so to speak, but it does define abortion as murder.
Olson & Olson then goes on to say, quote, the ordinance conflicts with Texas law because the state regulates abortions, including who may perform them, where they can happen, and when they could be done. So in that case, the ordinance is inconsistent with state regulations.
Clearly, the council doesn't understand, nor have they wanted to spend the time to understand what the ordinance is doing and how it is written within the confines of existing federal and state law. It's clear that they don't want to deal with this issue.
And for now, not one Lubbock City Council member has requested the ordinance be on an upcoming agenda.
It's sad that in Lubbock, Texas, this issue has garnered so much opposition by the elected officials of a community that is known one of the most conservative cities in the country. And two, the joke is there's a church on every corner.
Perry says sanctuary city supporters have enough signatures that could possibly force the issue to be on the ballot next May. Lauren?